everyone, my name is Linda and this is Just a Bookaholic, and today I'm going to be sharing with you some recommendations I have based on some of the music albums that have been on repeat in my playlist. Some of them are old albums that I've been listening to for years, and others are new releases that I've fallen in love with as well, and I will be pairing them up with graphic novels and mangas that I believe have similar tone and theme as the albums I'll be sharing with you. So the first one is I think second most recent release out there. It's Future Nostalgia by Dua Lipa. Yes, I have had Love Again on repeat just constantly. The entire album is a masterpiece, and it just honestly lifted my soul during these rough and harsh times. It is, as you can tell by the title and the album cover, it's very kind of bright and hopeful and happy and still like serious at times, but kind of very revival disco. I'm sorry, I'm terrible at describing albums, which is kind of problematic considering this video, but I will be pairing this fabulous album with the manga series Tsubaki Chronicles by Clamp. They are a phenomenal team of female manga writers and artists, and this is actually like a sister series to my favorite manga series, XXholic. I'll also have an image of that manga series as well, but they're like on the same kind of timeline, but this one is like about a group of misfits that come together and travel through different dimensions in hopes of getting the remnants of a amnesic, I can't say that word, princess's memories that are in the form of feathers, and there's like an evil mysterious antagonist that is chasing them through the different dimensions they're hopping across, and each character has a very like detailed and just heartbreaking backstory, but like it's like there are dark moments in this manga series, but like for the most part it is a hopeful and happy and just like very fun manga series, and I think that it really kind of goes well with future nostalgia. Yes, maybe, I don't know. But you should totally check it out if you're into like sci-fi, fantasy, and like found family vibes. Like totally recommend Tsubaki Chronicles. I read the entire series and it's very good, and there's also like a sequel series too, but they're like on hiatus from that, so yeah. The next album I really love as well. Like all of these albums and all of these books that I'm gonna like talk about in this video, I love so much. The next album I will be talking about and pairing with a book is K12 by Melanie Martinez. It is the concept album and it is just phenomenal. There's also like a movie as well paired with it that is on YouTube, and I highly recommend it. I've watched it like 5 times probably. It's great, and it is about a just weird boarding school almost, and like all the songs take you on this story of like what happens in this strange, weird, wacky school. And speaking of weird, wacky schools, this series / book I'm pairing this lovely, amazing, fantastically weird album with is Soul Eater by Atsuki Okubo. I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. But yes, this is also set in a school setting, and it is about Grim Reapers in training, or meisters as they're called in the book, and they are in a school that has been established by the god of death, and they are training to and doing the missions that involve capturing and eliminating corrupt souls. And their goal in this school is the Meister's goal is to have their weapon partner who is a human who can turn into a magical weapon, to eat, I think, 100 corrupt, like, Kishin souls, and also one witch's soul. So you're following a group of kids, including Maibei, the son of death, as well, and their journey and the strangeness that is involved in going to such a school. And it's fantastic, amazing, and lighthearted, but it gets dark, and there's just such an amazing friend group in this, and I love it, and it's action-packed and so fucking cool. And if this sounds like your jam, then I highly recommend trying out Soul Eater. I've read all of these and I've watched the anime as well. Like, highly recommend both, but the manga is so much better. Anyway, the next album I will be talking about is, and I've been like raving on it, like subtly kind of on Twitter, because I've been following all of these artists, to be honest, for years, but like, so proud of him and this album because it's like he went into a new direction, and it is Machine Gun Kelly's Tickets to My Downfall, a pop punk masterpiece. And like, yes, there are collabs with Halsey, who I love, Youngblood, and Travis Barker. Just go listen to the album, it is fantastic. And I'm pairing this up with Deadly Class, written by Rick Remender and illustrated by Wes Craig. I actually do own I think 5 volumes. I'm saving up to own like all of the volumes, and it is an ongoing series, but like, also I'm too lazy to like go through all my boxes of books to show you the paperback I have, and all the paperbacks I have, but yes, it is a fantastic graphic novel series, and it is another school setting. It is about a high school for assassins, and you're following kids of like the heads of crime syndicates, mobs, gangs, etc. from all around the world that go to this school to learn the art of death. And like, it's dark, it's edgy, it's set in the 1980s, like late 1980s, and it's just like punk angst, a lot of violence, a lot of gore, kind of gets gross, I'm gonna be honest, but like, not all the time, and it's just like, it's chef's kiss phenomenal. Very violent though, so like, not everyone's cup of tea, but like, I love it. Saya, she is a ruthless queen. She's affiliated with the Yakuza, and you're following this kid who's like a street rat and an orphan who gets selected to join this secret school that's underground in San Francisco, and it's just amazing. It's just so amazing, and it just gets so much better, and it's an ongoing series. I am officially caught up, and I think it's starting again. The newest issue is coming out in April, so you have a good amount of time to catch up if you want. And yeah, highly recommend both Tickets to My Downfall and Deadly Class. They are great. Anyway, next album is kind of old, but like still solid. It is Everybody by Logic. It is also another concept album. I really love concept albums, if you haven't guessed yet. This one was actually inspired by a short story, Egg by Andy Weir. It's about kind of essentially a man dies in a tragic car accident and he learns in the afterlife by God, who is voiced by Neil deGrasse Tyson, that essentially you have to live the life of every person that has ever existed and ever will exist, and then that in that way you will become a god in the album. And yeah, it's just a fantastic album. Logic is a rapper, and I just found the entire album great, and I highly recommend it. Also, speaking of that album, I am pairing it up with Saga, written by Brian K. Vanahan, I think that's how you say his name, I'm so sorry, and illustrated by Fiona Staples. Saga is about a kind of initially starts off like a star-crossed lover story about a couple from two different warring planets or moons. One's from a moon and the other from the planet, and they're sworn enemies, and they escape and run away together because they have a child together, and now they're hunted by both creeds, and they meet so many different people across the way, and the lives that they lead like across the stars, and you go and it branches out to follow so many different people. And it's a phenomenal graphic novel series, and I'm currently caught up with it and waiting for some new issues, but I would recommend looking up the trigger warnings. I wouldn't recommend this to anyone young, because there are some very adult themes. It's pretty graphic, but it doesn't take over the story. It's just part of it, as it is with life. And yeah, highly recommend Saga and everybody. I'm just gonna stop saying I highly recommend. I think it's obvious that I highly recommend all of these. Last album and book combo I will be sharing with you is an semi-oldie. It's American Beauty, American Psycho by Fall Out Boy. And I am pairing this up with Teen Titans Raven, written by Kami Garcia and illustrated by Gabriel Picciolo, because this one is kind of the most direct, or related to each other, because there's hints in this book where it shows that Raven actually owns Fall Out Boy albums and merch and stuff like that, so obviously have to pair her up with a Fall Out Boy album. So Teen Linda was obsessed with this album, and it's just fantastic, fun, and just great music to pump you up, or to dance to, or just to So this one is a kind of an intro to the character Raven from Teen Titans, and you kind of follow her as she rebuilds her life after a tragedy in New Orleans and has to discover who she is and her mother's past, and she's starting to have visions, and she's starting to have powers and stuff like that as well. If you know nothing about Raven and whatnot, it's great. I found this to be a phenomenal retelling of her origin story, and this is an ongoing series that follows all of the Teen Titans and how they eventually meet, I believe. The next one in the series is Teen Titans Beast Boy, which I have read and also enjoyed, but this one is an absolute favorite of mine. And yeah, I hope you liked all of these recommendations. I don't know, so awkward. Anyway, I hope you guys are surviving these precarious times. I think that's my catchphrase, outro, I don't know. Please like and comment down below if you enjoyed this video. Goodbye.